I think it's a nice place.
It's a nice place.
But I have a couple issues with it. First of all,
yeah, here.
今回の動画ではあなたの英語のレッスンを鍛えるためのネイティブ同士の会話をお届けしたいと思います。初めての方は Welcome to the channel. アーサーです。僕がこのチャンネルを作ったのは、より多くの方が英語を学ぶだけではなく、生の世界で実際に使える英語力を身につけて、世界の人々と交流していただきたいからです。そのためには、レッスン用の会話ではなく、僕とアメリカ人の友達のオースティンとの 100% 生の会話を英語と日本語字幕付きで提供していきたいと思います。で、会話がちょっと長くなるので、15分ずつに分けて3本の動画に公開していきます。で、今回の会話の他の動画は、この動画の下にある概要欄からアクセスできます。また、今回の会話は、もともと The Austin and Arthur Show という別のチャンネルで放送されたものですね。字幕がないので、ちょっとハードルが高いのですが、それでもいろんな話が聞きたい場合は、ぜひ The Austin and Arthur Show をご覧ください。And with that, let's get started.
but we're here to talk about Starbucks today.
And the reason why is because when we were talking about these ideas, I said, yeah, we can talk about how Starbucks in Japan is better. And you said?
I said, you're wrong.
You said, I disagree.
Yeah.
Which means you're wrong, but
yeah. No, I completely disagree.
Well, that's why I want to do this first so we can all see why you're wrong on air right now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to highlight this. So first of all, I want to preface by saying I like Starbucks in Japan. I think it's a nice place.
It's a nice place.
But I have a couple issues with it. First of all, First of all, I think American Starbucks is way more comfortable.
Why?
Because so you go in and the atmosphere that you will have in an American Starbucks is very roomy and spacious.
Okay.
And usually they'll have like some really, really fancy furniture, the like nice leather seats. And places that are comfortable to sit in for like several hours.
Yeah.
And it's not like Starbucks here don't have that.
Yeah.
Because they try to also have a cafe atmosphere. But if I'm being honest, like the furniture is not very comfortable, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think you and I are just too big for it. That's a big part.
Well, I mean,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's also like, and I don't think this is necessarily Starbucks' fault, but there's a lot of people, and every time I go into a Starbucks, it's often very hard to sit down.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I don't think that's necessarily Starbucks' fault. It's probably the fault that we're in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of people here.
Yeah.
But it kind of ruins my experience because like when I go to Starbucks, like I kind of just want to be in my little zone.
Yeah.
And so that kind of just gets ruined here.
Yeah. So I guess okay, so what you're saying is valid. I guess what I said, I feel like Starbucks here is better. I was focusing on like the service and not the actual user experience with you actually being in here with all these other people. Because actually I don't go to Starbucks specifically because there are too many people here. It's just too annoying. But dude, there are other parts that I really like.
Yeah.
But
another thing that I kind of get a little bit annoyed at is I feel like it's kind of hard to deviate off the menu here in Japan.
Yeah, right.
Like in Starbucks, one of the cool things about Starbucks, if you go to America, is of course they have a menu, but they also have like a secret menu that you can order. But at the same time, if you just give them instructions, they'll make your own custom drink.
Yeah.
Like it's really customizable and really flexible.
Yeah.
And you don't get that level of customization here.
Yeah. I mean, it goes with the culture.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like, here's the things on the menu. Please stick to that. Right.
Yeah. I saw actually on X, formerly known as Twitter or something. I saw a guy who he got he has like a rewards card and he got like one free drink, any drink for free. Yeah. And so he made it a custom drink that if he were to order it at a regular Starbucks, it would have been like $50. And he got it for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you just put the cap on so I can pour for you now?
No.
Just subconsciously?
No. If I was expecting you to pour for me, I would have not put the cap on. Then as I put the cap on, I'm like, oh shit, he's waiting to pour for me. Never mind. I just want you to go through that extra effort, man.
I can tell, man. Another thing that kind of annoys me a little bit. So coffee culture, and we've talked about, you mentioned that we talked about this in a previous episode when we were talking about coffee, but coffee cultures between Japan and America are very, very different.
Yeah, very different.
Right? Japan embraces kind of like European coffee culture, where it's like everything's set up as a cafe and it's meant to be like a midday break.
Yeah.
Where I think like American coffee culture, it's like, it's breakfast.
It's breakfast. It's the morning. In America, coffee is your caffeine hit for the day.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they talk about like you've seen the shirts that say, don't interrupt me until I've had my coffee or something. It's like, before coffee, I hate the world.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. So like we're pretty serious as Americans when it comes to drinking coffee in the morning. And so to embrace that idea, like Starbucks opens up at 5 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
Like,
very early.
And it's crazy to say this, but there's often lines formed by 5 a.m.
Especially drive-through lines.
Yeah. People are, they're often like, blue collar workers that are on their way to like a construction job or some factory job. And, they start work at 6 a.m.
Yeah. The thing that I never understood is like, why would you wait in a drive-through line for like 10 minutes to do your order when you can just park and get your order inside and then come out?
I've had several debates with my dad about this. Well, I wouldn't say debates. It's more
discussions
because we kind of both agree with the same thing.
Okay.
Like back when my dad could drive. So I'm going to throw my dad a little bit under the bus right here because he was a McDonald's guy. He had his McDonald's every single morning.
Oh, yeah, McDonald's breakfast.
Yeah. And, every now and then I'd go with him for breakfast in the morning. And my dad would always comment on that.
Yeah.
As soon as we get, like, because we would go to breakfast at like, 7 or 8 in the morning. And, we'd get there and the parking lot would be completely empty.
Yeah.
And there would be like 12 cars like waiting in line at the drive-thru. And it's just like, I don't understand these people. If they just parked and went in, it's like, I mean, you're not wrong, Dad.
Yeah.
But also, like, we're in America and everyone's lazy. No one wants to get out of their car.
I know. Did he ever park and get out?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. So I mean, I honestly, I feel like this is a lazy thing. It's like, dude, I'll wait 10 minutes if it means I can be in my car with the heater and like that kind of mentality.
Yeah, dude, I'm so the opposite. Like when I'm moving or I have a goal, I need to. My natural tendency is to need to be moving until my goal is accomplished. So like I was it when I'm walking home, because so basically I get off at the train station, then I walk like 15 minutes to my house and I cross a bunch of intersections. But like the train exit is on two sides of the road. It's a very big road, so it's on either side. And I get off on the side of the road where even if I have to stop at a pedestrian light because, traffic's coming in, I can still go over the other one. So I'm still in motion. Yeah. So I don't have to wait for that because so let's say so my house is on the left side of the road and I'll be on the right side of the road because if I have to, if I'm on the left side of the road, I just go in a straight line. But then if there's a pedestrian light, I have to wait at that pedestrian light. So I'll go to the right side because then if there's a pedestrian light, I can cross over to the left side and feel like I'm making progress. That's just how I am, man.
Such a weirdo, man.
It's okay. I just always need to be moving. So I would be the one who's like in the drive-thru. I'd be like, this isn't working. I just park and get out as soon as I could because I just want to move, But yeah, when I have a goal, I try to get it.
That's fun.
Anyways.
All right. So another thing, and I'm going to ask you this because I'm actually not 100% you can't do this or 100% sure you can't do this here in Japan. But another really big thing about Starbucks in the US is you can actually bring in your own mugs and have those filled up. But I've never seen that done here.
They're starting to do it. I think like when I was in Yokohama, just the other day. I had a meeting in the morning and I was at a Starbucks and I feel like I saw someone bring one of their thermoses. Or something
really?
Like that. Just I could have been wrong, but
yeah.
I feel like I felt like I saw that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, most of the time, you don't want to like pass personal things. Like in Starbucks in the United States, the staff is much more personable, much more flexible, and that's how it is in the States.
Yeah. It definitely feels like it's less of a transaction. Yeah. Like the Starbucks people in the US will get sometimes a little bit too personal.
Yeah.
Well, they'll just be like, they'll just make comments that's like, dude, I don't really care. It's like, oh, how's your day going? Yeah, it's good. How's yours? Oh, well, you know what? I've been having a busy day here at Starbucks, and it's like, dude, I don't care. Just give me my damn coffee. Like, I'm not here to have a conversation. So it's like there's kind of like some back and forth. Like, I actually like Japan in the sense that like I don't want to talk to the barista.
Yeah.
I just want my coffee.
Yeah, just shut off.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm the same when I go to restaurants. Like, if a waiter comes over and is like chatty and it's like, dude, just fuck off and give me my food. Like, I don't want to be friends. Like, go away.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I'm not a mean and antisocial person.
Austin is a very nice person.
I like people, but like when it comes to like a sales thing, it's like I just want this interaction to be done so I can enjoy what I came here for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I actually really like Japan because it's not like that. But yeah, it's I don't know. Like I would say the main reason why I prefer American Starbucks is the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because so of course I grew up with a Starbucks in my town, and there were a few Starbucks in Salem, next door to me, and they got kind of like run down. Like everything was like dark colors, and then the couches got old, or like the chairs.
That's crazy. I mean, maybe I'm biased because I'm I was in Seattle, and it's like that's literal Starbucks land. Like you can't go anywhere in Seattle without encountering a Starbucks. Yeah.
Well, I know Starbucks is insane over in Seattle, but what ended up happening though is like a couple years ago, they opened up a new location for Starbucks. Yeah. And when I went there, they had almost like what you kind of see here. They had like a big wooden table.
I hate that.
I love those.
Oh God, I hate those so much, man. I feel so claustrophobic when I'm sitting at those.
So first let's decide what is the ideal sitting arrangement for you.
Okay, so the ideal sitting arrangement for me, and I'll tell you because I used to hang out in the Starbucks. I shouldn't say this. I used to skip class when I was a high school student.
It's okay.
And so like, well, I say I shouldn't say this because I would often skip Japanese class.
Yeah, right. Oh, you skipped Japanese class. That's a whole nother thing.
Not because I didn't enjoy it. I actually really liked my teacher, and I had a lot. Obviously, I was interested in Japan, but class started at 6:30 in the morning.
What?
And I had an hour and a half commute.
Wait, was it the Japanese school in like South Seattle or close to the southern?
No,
part
but I did go with my friends to that a couple times.
Okay.
So this was at my school, and we had like an advanced Japanese class.
Okay.
And it started 0 hour. So it was like either 6:30 or is it right at 7?
Man.
And so I lived an hour and a half away from school, because the school was in South Seattle, and I was like, I grew up in like Bothell,
which is north,
which is not very close to Seattle. But yeah, so I used to get up in the morning and take the bus to school and just be like super tired and just go, you know what, I'm just not going to come into school at this time.
Yeah.
And so I would go hang out in the Starbucks and kind of just be on my own. And they had these really big lazy boy chairs that you could kind of just kind of sink into.
So lazy boy chair, describe a lazy boy chair to us.
So a lazy boy chair is like a recliner chair.
Yeah, just kind of.
They're really expensive like chairs that you just sit in, and they're very comfortable.
Yeah, the back goes down, the footrest comes up.
Yeah. And so like I would sit in there, and there was like a little coffee table, right next to the chair that you could put your drinks on and just kind of relax in. And it was even cooler because the chair had a swingable little desk kind of thing.
Okay.
So if you wanted to pull out your laptop or something and do some work, you could sit there. And so that's where I would spend the first hour to hour and a half of my mornings, skipping class as a high school student.
Yeah.
And it was just great. It was a really nice time for me to just kind of be by myself. And so that's kind of the bar that I set every Starbucks that I go into.
Okay, a lazy boy with a desk.
So to be fair, I know that every Starbucks isn't gonna have that, but ideally what I'm looking for is a really comfortable chair to sit in that I could be in there for plushy, 2 hours.
It's cushiony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cushiony chairs in Starbucks in Japan don't really exist.
No, they don't. They I'll tell you what really drives me nuts is there's kind of two furniture that you'll see over here. The first is the weird love seat couch, the short. You know what a love seat is, right? It's a 2-person couch, right? But they'll have it'll be the business version of that, right? Where it'll be really low to the ground, and it'll just be a love seat.
Okay.
And I don't really know who that's for. I guess 2 people just come to chat, and I don't know. It's
I mean, I wouldn't sit in that with you.
No, it's weird. So they have that, and then they have the really deep. I don't know how to describe them. The when I say deep, it's the seat itself is really long.
Yeah.
And then the rest, the backrest is like that, and that's what the chairs look like. And yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there are places where they have normal chairs in Starbucks too.
Oh, well, a normal chair and desks and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's not the same.
I get it. So I mean, I get it. So in the States, right? Starbucks is a place where all the high school kids hang out and stuff. I'm just getting into coffee now. I feel so cool. Let's hang out at Starbucks.
Yeah.
But I feel that's kind of what the McDonald's is here. The high school kids hang out at McDonald's.
Yeah, if you go into a McDonald's during the day, there's kids.
Yeah.
There's high schoolers everywhere.
Yeah, and so it's I feel the purpose of Starbucks is a little bit different, which kind of plays into that.
Yeah.
For me, Starbucks was always a place where I would get work done. But there are so many places in Starbucks where I don't have enough space to get any work done. So
yeah,
I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
続きは明日公開しますので、明日以降はこちらからご覧いただけます。また、字幕なしでもよければ、The Austin and Arthur Show はこちらからご覧ください。As always, enjoy your English adventures. これからも一緒に世界とつながりましょう。See you tomorrow!